Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. We're playing the game Meet Your Maker, and this video today is in my Masters series. I just mastered another Outpost, Burial Ground, Sinister Lair. This was the one I nicknamed Happy Town. So it did pretty good during its duration. It actually stopped or capped out last night while I was away. It got 8 more deaths before. I wish it was more grander before it ended, the last death number, but it's 8, which is okay. But let's look at the total volume of raiders and its kill ratio towards its end. So the Outpost is obviously mastered. It's prestige 10. It was a brutal base. It was a brutal category base. It was basically the same base the whole duration of its existence. I added a trap here or there as I got capacity, but overall it was the same flow or loadout as day one. The extracted Genmat that I got was 126,000 towards Trap Advisor, and the raiders that raided me only got 47,000. So that's a big difference in numbers. There was a lot of people that tapped out with the attempts. I mean, there were 106 attempts on this outpost, and the raiders that I killed was 1,006. And the kill ratio ended up being a 9.5. And as I had said in other videos, that's where I'm trying to keep my sweet spot, somewhere between 9 and 10. So that gives raiders a, it's not overwhelming, I don't think, and it's not underwhelming. And I think that those numbers are well and good. I mean, 9.5 is a good kill ratio number for the base. Now, under the accolades, I got 36 fun. I got 41 brutal, I got 30 ingenious, and 15 artistic. Now, I mean, it's an artistic. I mean, I thought it was somewhat artistic, but maybe people didn't think so, or maybe they wanted to put their points in other places. But it's definitely, in the end, ended up the highest number being 48. That is in the brutal accolades category, and then the one fun being the second one. So that's always good to see. Both either fun or brutal, either one of those two being the higher number is fine with me. When it comes to a base, as long as people are having a good time, or some people are having a good time. So let's go in, as I have done with the past mastered videos. I'm going to actually go in to the base, just walk through it real quick, and then we'll button the video up, and then I'll put it in social. All right, so it's obviously 10 prestige, and what I did is you've got the fascia there, the Tarkus Zone fascia on this, and this one here, this is where it really begins, and I put the tomb, one of the tombs is right here, and I trapped it. I put the incinerator trap on this wall here, and I put a bomb ejector right there. Now, these two traps I added last minute as I got capacities. These two traps weren't here originally. I just didn't want to put any more traps inside the place, so I ended up just sticking them here because I had capacity. And I don't think I really got much. Let's hit whoop. I fell in a hole. Let's hit the, I think it's the H that gives me the tombstones. Is it H or is it T? It's T, sorry. It's okay. Those are the tombstones. That's the historical tombstones. So I don't have any tombstones out here. So I don't think I ever got anyone with these two traps. All right, let's go inside. All right, so I don't think I'm getting... I think what happens is this... Oh, there they are. Okay, there they are. Okay. Oh, I guess I did get a couple people. See the tombstones down there? I know they capped the tombstones at 100 per map, so we're just getting well, I guess it looks like I got 3 deaths down here. Not many. All right, I did get a few in here, and I'm just going to toggle those off again. So I've got a piston here as you came up to the stairs, and another bomb ejector or a bouncing Betty here at the top. So my hope was when they came up here to deal with the piston, that oh, and I had one on the okay, so I have one right there. So actually you could see that coming up there, the bomb ejector. I should have probably put that at an angle, but again, I think even this bomb ejector I added last minute just to add it to the thing. So they came into a piston trap and then an inferno trap. So these traps here weren't really hard to deal with. I mean, you could see them come around the corner. Let me put something different in my hand so I'm not washing out the screen. Let me just put a enforcer in my hand so I'm not washing everything out with a block, shadow block. All right, this is where the system got crazy. This is where I bottlenecked them. And if you watch any of my videos, this is where I bottlenecked a lot of the raiders was here, because I've got an inferno trap there. I got an inferno trap at the end of this hallway, and I've got one up here, and this one got so many people because you just don't see it. It's a blind dip. You're blindly dipping down here, and you're thinking, oh, I got to just deal with that one. I got to deal with that one because it's coming at me. I'm going to hit this one, and then boom. Now, if I hit T again, these are the historical gravestones here. So as you can see, how many people died. I mean, we would have a plague on our hands if we had this many corpses just laying around the place. Look at how many people died in the teacup build. Now, I went over the teacup premise with you in another video where you're in a lower spot. See, I'm in a low spot, like a teacup on a golf course. I'm in the cup, and everything's filtering into the cup. This is how effective the teacup design is. And I did do a video. If you go check out one of my past videos, you'll see it. It's a workshop video called the teacup. It's really just you're in a lower hole where everything else is raining down on you. And then as you came up this hill, there's another bouncing Betty or a bomb ejector that threw bombs down into this hole. And then I had an enforcer, enforcers on both these sides. Now these enforcers, I don't think did a lot of killing. I think this one has the dead man switch on them, and it killed a lot of people, because especially duo pairs. I actually videotaped it. A duo went up here, killed this, it flopped down and killed his buddy down in the hole. This guy I don't think did a lot of damage. He was just really there to get them out of the hole, so they're up in the air here, so they can get crossfires from the actual hornets that are flying around. So he's like a patsy mob. This guy right here again was a patsy trap. I don't think it did much killing. I don't even think its angle was right to do much killing. Yeah, the person would have to be standing like right. I mean, yeah, I don't think it did much killing. And I got it modded as double down in Hunter. Maybe it did. I mean, with the Hunter on it, there's a possibility that it did do much killing. And then I had more mobs up here. I have a cannonback, an enforcer, and a hornet that was just flying out into the room. And these guys really, these mobs here are really to shoot at people when they were down here, because this is where they'll have their line of sight. So people come into the place not really seeing up there. See, you see up there? Now I put the top of here, I did do another bolt launcher that shot down here. So this was basically covered pretty good, because there's a bolt launcher there, and then you got the bolt launcher there. So maybe that was not the best thing, because I mean, really they both would have gone off at the same time. The person backed up, and they would have just had basically just becomes noise at that point, just things flying around the room. All right, and then I put some corrosive cubes in here to help push people in a certain direction. Here's another bolt shot trap with a hornet, and then I put this injector up here, and this injector worked a lot because people would grapple up to either retrieve their ammo from this thing, or they would grapple up to see what was going on, to get to see here, and this would dump out bouncing Betties, and if they were duo pair, their duo guy would get caught in the teacup, because it would all dump into that hole. So that got a lot of people. I've watched the videos of that where you would not think this being facing this way on the third tier up that this would actually ever go off, and it went off a lot because they got to get up here to deal with this. If they notice it, they got to get up here to retrieve their stuff, and it works devastating with the duo pair because they're just not expecting it. It just fills the teacup full of bombs again. And then I've got this Sentinel. I added this Sentinel as an add-on when I got more capacity. It wasn't here originally. All right, then we've got some other just noise up here. Like I put this bolt shot here. I don't think this bolt shot would have ever killed anybody. I mean, they would have had to have been in this cubby right here to actually have it go off. It's up there so that it's a patsy trap, so they will zing up there to get their bolt back because they're going to think that it was hostile to them, and they've got to zing up there if they want to shoot this plasma sentinel. So it basically takes 2 rounds. So basically they would shoot 2, 2, 2, leaving them 1 round in the gun. So that would force them to come up here. So it's a round eater, bolt eater if they're using the gun. And once they got up here, then they would be open to all this magic in the room. So basically it was for me to pull them up into basically a kill box in the ceiling. If they shoot at these and they go to retrieve their items, that's what that setup was, and it was effective. All right. Then I had this trap here. This trap here was on self-destruct. It's an impaler trap on self-destruct on the floor, not near any other traps that I worried about. And that got a few people too, because they would destroy it and then they would stand here lollygagging thinking they were fine, and it would blow up. So that worked well. Incinerator trap here at the back of the hallway. So as they turn the corner, the incinerator trap. So that worked out well. I guess this one had an odds of destroying the incinerator trap. I really didn't pay attention to that when I built it. I think maybe this bolt trap was something I placed in, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, I was trying to dumb it down to 9 point something. So having traps destroy traps at this level is fine. Then I had another, and then you got into here with a piston, another inferno trap, impaler, piston, then another impaler. And I put impalers on these walls in case somebody wanted to sneak behind here and think they were going to be able to, when these items up here were shooting at them, they would tuck around this corner, and then they would get killed. Or they would be zinging up there in the ceiling, and they would drop down, and they would get killed. So it's just, it worked out well. I mean, they got a few people. I think if I go back to the historical, so that they got 1 person, that one got 1 person, and this one got 1 person in its duration. And I think I've got the historicals going. Yeah, the historicals are going right now. It's tombstones. So not a lot of people died in this room historically, or it's just I'm exceeding the 100 tombstone number with all the tombstones that are down in that ditch. Because they're only going to show us 100, I guess, at a time, or total, so it just removes some from the map so that you can just see. So the tombstones are looking pretty sweet. And this was similar to the birdcage setup, where you funnel them to the top. Unlike the birdcage, in the birdcage, there was all sorts of tombstones here at the very top of this hill. So as you can see, we don't see that many. Again, it could be because it's capping the 100 at 100. It's got a similar to the birdcage design. If you watch my birdcage video, very noisy, very kill boxy in this section, but it's doable because you can run right up, get the Genmat, and then use a stem or a shield to run out. It's really short. This if you look all in all of all the bases that I make, my bases are very short. I don't like doing elongated bases. I don't think they're enjoyable for people. My bases, I like them to be very, very short, so they can get in and out. Now, there are some people that take 2 hours to do my bases, even though they're as small as they are. It just comes down to systematically knocking out the traps efficiently, getting up here, getting the this little setup that I've done now. I do this a lot with a lot of my bases. I put the incinerator here in the back wall. Here I put a piston in to protect it. So if somebody came up to the top here thinking that they were going to be able to hide here from all the noise, then they'll be like, oh crap, I got an incinerator, and they can't just shoot it because the piston could be out protecting it, so they got to dip back here, and it leaves them vulnerable again. Got a piston up there at the top. This setup works really well. I don't know why I don't see as many tombstones, but again, it could be because of the 100 cap. So that's it in a nutshell. And this is what I called this building is what I called Happy Town. Now, one of the Dr. Darkspawn did this map, and he only died 3 times. And there were some people that did this map that died 40 times. It's not the most difficult map I've ever made. And again, it's got the 9 something kill ratio. And there it is. Oh, I even had a block up here, capacity waste of this block. Look at that. I even had a block just hanging out in the... When you get to a point where you get so much capacity and you just don't want to make it too uber, you're going to end up just having... And these are some of the people that just tapped out, gave up on the place. That's why when you see tombstones here at the spawn, I don't have nothing here to shoot at people outside. So these are tap outs. And that's it. That's Happy Town. I really think it did very well for me, and it's now a master's outpost, my sinister lair, and we'll go now and we'll put it in social. Yeah, we'll put it in social, and that's that. That'll be that. I mean, it really did well for me in its time playing. And we're going to look at the numbers just to cap out the video. We're going to look at the numbers one last time, make sure it's in social. I got to activate some bases today. They all went unactive all at once on me. So where is it? There it is right there. There's Happy Town. Oh, you got pop up there. Got Happy Town. Whoop, another pop up. Okay, so that's it right there. Now, I did want to point out that it's not getting the raider numbers that I got from bases when the game first came out. So if you look at the birdcage, I'm just clicking on birdcage right now, so you can see that I killed 4,500 raiders in the birdcage when that was active, and that was week 1 of the game. So that shows you, in comparison, the difference in raiders that I'm receiving across the board. I mean, almost 3,000 less raider kills, at least kills. Okay, we can look at I should have looked at the attempts. 364, 368, maybe this one, this +4 doesn't count because it's in social, but it's 368 people I pretty much killed in the birdcage, and Happy Town it was 106. So it just shows you a volume change of how many raiders are hitting my bases. All right, well, that's it, folks. I want to thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.